Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Before I get into this video, I'd like to ask you all to please leave a like and comment on my video and consider subscribing to my channel. Now, this video is going to be slightly different from my regular content. It's actually based on something that I'm working on myself, something that I'm doing, and I'm going to show you a little bit of exactly how complex high slot weapons are when it comes to decomposing them. Now, I was going to actually show you with the demonstration. However, I accidentally um, scrapped all my materials already, and I don't have any of the MK9 large gear to actually scrap right now to show you the value. So let's open this first item over here, the MK9 large medium lasers. Now, when it comes to these MK9 items, the reason why they are so valuable is the fact that when you decompose them, when you scrap them, you're actually getting value in terms of, how do I put this? In terms of resources. So overall, they have a raw resource value. Now, depending on your reprocessing skill, if it's zero, you're obviously getting nothing from them. If you have a high reprocessing skill, like level 1 maximum, that's 50%, you're going to get quite a bit of resources out of them. It might be somewhere along the figure of 15 to 20 megacyte per one of these large lasers. Now, you might be wondering, how does this help you in the game? Well, it can help you in one of five ways. Number one, it can help you build up ships a lot faster. Now, retting fleets and retting teams generally have this habit of clearing out anomalies purely to gain um, a large anomaly like, how do I say this here? They want inquisitors and scouts, right? And they want dead spaces. So even in T9s right now, you'll find a ton of players running through, trying to clear them up and trying to farm them up to get the most amount of spawns of these uh, high level activities. Now, from the high level activities, there's quite a bit of a raw ISK reward in them because they have about a 20 million bounty. Now, in order to get to that point, you have to clean up all the other spawns in your sector so that you have the maximum potential for getting what you need. So, a lot of players will go about in, say, for example, an MK9 a T9 system, and they will farm out the small, mediums, and possibly the larges if they're in a big enough team. But you'll find that a lot of them don't pick up the loot they leave behind. So, getting into one of these teams or finding out where they're going, just sitting on the sideline and picking up the loot after they have left, is one of the fastest ways you can actually gain ISK. So, you might decide to jump into your big hauler, your mammoth, your Tyra, or bestower, or whichever type of large hauler you have for yourself, and you can pick up all of these MK9 items. Now, the MK9 items are quite large and they fill up quite a lot of space really fast. So, if you go through a large and you pick up quite a bit of MK9 gear, you might fill up like 1 or 2% of one of those big ships' hulls. Or if you're using something like a Cyclone or an actual combat ship, you might actually fill up something like 70 to 80% of just a single anomaly. Now, once you've filled up that hull, you can go back to the station, drop it off, and keep coming in and out and filling up another vessel till you have maxed out its capacity. Now, you are looking to do something really weird when it comes to what you are collecting. You're looking to build those figures up to the thousands. Now, why would you want 1,000? 1,000 MK9 lasers, which give you 15 megacyte. Let's see exactly what's that worth. 1,000 times 15 is 15,000 megacyte. 15,000 megacyte is a considerable portion towards building uh, a battleship. Let's just go look at the battleship production right now, and I'll show you exactly why I'm saying this is quite a bit of production for you. Remember, you could also be part of that ratting team, ratting everything out, making millions at a time, going from one anomaly to the next. They worth like 4 million a piece, the regular anomalies. No, sorry. They worth, I'm trying to figure out the exact figure. The smalls are worth 2 million in T9, the mediums are worth 4 million, and the larges are worth almost 9 million. Now, those figures aren't exact, they do decrease and increase based on what you have at your availability. So, let me just go for the Nightmare. I just want to have a look at the resource requirement. 1.7. This isn't expensive. Something is wrong. So if you looked exactly at what I said you'd need in terms of megasite, you had 15 of each one of those at 1,000. That is 15,000. Now that's just a basic level reprocessor. If you were an expert level higher, you most probably can make quite a bit more, maybe about 30 per level. That will give you 30,000. And looking at this, you just have to do that 4 more times. And I know that some of you are thinking to yourself, yeah, 4 more times, doing that much of reprocessing and getting that much of gear, it's going to take days. Well, that is not true. In about an hour, you could actually harvest up that 1000 MK9 gear. And if you don't believe that, think about it as running around with a full fire team. So, not fire team, a full fleet. And with that full fleet, you can actually harvest out entire asteroid belts. Not entire asteroid belts, sorry, entire uh, anomaly lists. You can do every one of them at a very fast level. With about 6 of us, we can actually beat the spawn rate of T9s to take out the mediums. The larges are a little bit slower, so it would take us about the same amount of time it takes to spawn one to kill one T9. So one T9 in a team of 4 like that there per hour. If it was 20 of us, not 20 of us, if it was a full team of 10, it would be something like 2 T9s in the time to take to spawn one. So we'd actually managed to reduce it all the way down till just one kept spawning until something like Inquisitor, Scout, Dead Space spawned in that sector. So that's how fast you can farm if you're in a good farming team. And a lot of players are after the equipment, especially to gain resources out of it. Now, there's a lot of other resources that come out, and they come out at good amounts and good figures, like your tritanium. You can get 500,000 tritanium straight up from one of these reprocessors. And as you're looking, oh no, this figure isn't showing it exactly what was needed. So let's just go look at the market quickly. Yeah, this was 1.9 billion titanium. Okay, right, so that's quite a heavy figure of titanium just to build these ships. No wonder they're so expensive. But nonetheless, when you're looking at these heavy production, no, sorry, that's not right. That's 150 million. Not that heavy in terms of the total amount of resources you need. It's quite doable. It's even purchasable. You can purchase these figures quite easily. They're not that expensive. So when looking at all of this overall, considering my efficiency is at 150% and not brought down to 50 like anybody else with good production skills, you could actually harvest up tons of resources just farming the regular anomalies. And doing this here instead of mining all day is quite a good way to gain that resources. Considering that when you're mining, there's so many different resources, and you need about, let's see, one, two, three, four, five mineral processing skills just to process all the minerals out. While for scrapping, you just need one resource processing item, and everything can be processed out of those materials. Getting together with a good team who's looking for the bounties over the actual gear is a good way to do it. That means you're keeping yourself in small teams, maybe 3, maybe 2 man teams. You could easily make it out of a day with 20 to 30 million in bounties while doing this here just for 2 hours a day. And you could easily make yourself, let's see, I do 4 or 5 hauls an hour. I get about 20 to 30. That's just in a 2 man team. And we're splitting it half half. So 20 to me, 20 to him, or 30 30. Let's say that I'm going with our best results of 30 an hour. So 30 30, that's 60. And we do it for 2 hours at a time. That's 120 an hour. Yeah, so just with the 2 man team, I can do 120 in an hour. So double it up to a 4 man team, or times 5 to a 5 man team. I can do almost 600 with that full 10 man team if we were just doing the smalls. But we can't touch large and we can't touch medium in that large figure. So those figures climb up quite fast. And you could fill up your hull every single time you go with one load from the anomaly back to the station. That's how fruitful it is to mine just the T9 anomalies. That's what you can get out of them. And you don't have to learn a ton of industry, you just have to learn scrap metal processing. And just the first level gives you quite a good amount of resources. If you learn it all the way down to expert, you'll have a phenomenal haul. And every time you want to have something produced, you can always send over resources to players instead of having to have to purchase it with the resource value from the player, making it a massive purchase all at once. So that is basically what I am tutorialing today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day.